Welcome back to some more Magic the Gathering Arena draft fun. It's day 2 of Aetherdrift on Arena. So we're gonna jump into a draft right away. Yesterday we went 3-3 with a blue-green deck. I've learned some things from the draft, I think. We went 3-3, so with a look at our gems and at our coins here, we really want to go 4-3 in this draft to basically continue the chain tomorrow and to continue playing, to continue drafting, and here we go. It's the new set. The people are excited to draft this. The queue is filling quickly, and I'm excited to see what we open. Yesterday we started off with a Sepsunin, one of the best cards in the set probably. We drew her once. Okay, okay, that's kind of crazy. Okay, we start with the Sepsunin again. Second draft of the format, second day, and the second Sepsunin. Pick one. Notably here, there's also a Gastile Thrillseeker, which is a pretty good black-red uncommon for an aggressive Start Your Engines deck because it gives you 2 triggers right away. And then in the late game, it's never irrelevant because it gains Death Touch once you have max speed. There's a Scrounging Skyray, which is also a phenomenal card in the blue-red cycling deck. There's a Cloudspire Captain, which is also pretty nice, but I'm much more excited about these 2 uncommons. Obviously, this is a 2-mana card, but I mean, we gotta take the Sepsunin again. It's so good. Also, Spin Out, a strictly better murder that in this set, which is a little bit more mid-range leaning and doesn't have a lot of good removal, is probably the one of the best removal spells. Now here we have again, like we did yesterday, we have a Pothole Mole. These were pretty solid, but you really want to lean into synergy, and I think green is the least, the deck with the least synergy overall. You just put a lot of power on the battlefield. Maybe we can even find a deck where we splash the Sepsunin. That's quite possible. And we have a Guidelight Synergist here, which is a pretty good white card for artifact decks. So if you pair this with blue or with black. But here we also have an Outpace Oblivion, which is, I think, a premium red removal spell. Deals 5 damage. It starts your engines. So if you get aggressive, like get a 2-drop out, you can maybe kill their 3-drop, get in, and then again on a later turn, you can sacrifice it to deal 2 damage and gain another trigger towards your max speed. So this really helps in that regard. Here we have a Sky Serpent Seeker, and we want to play the Sepsunin, so we might want to take this proactively, and this could help us splash the Outpace Oblivion. Then again, if we want to be blue-green, it would be helpful if this card wheeled, but I don't think out of this pack that the Sky Serpent Seeker wheels. So I'm just gonna take it here. If we can splash the Outpace Oblivion, that's pretty nice. I think green has a lot of tools to do so. This is one of them, and it's just a good card. So I'm not unhappy to take this here. A second one, okay. Now, notably, taking this many gold cards early is a bit problematic, or can be problematic, because there's no guarantee that either blue or green are gonna be open. Just tells us that the color combination is open right now, and it's still very early in the draft. But maybe we can also send a signal by taking these cards early. I think it's, now that we've already got these 2 cards, it's too good not to take. There's also a Wreckage Wicker Fork, which is a great black card in any black deck. It's an artifact card for the synergy. It puts cards in your graveyard for synergy. It's a flyer that gets in and deals damage for your speed synergy. So all of those make it a pretty good card, but we're just going to be happy with our second Sky Serpent Seeker here. And now with two of these, I think we have a pretty good start to splash. Okay, here we see a Lacrian Jaguar as the only green card, and then a Keen Buccaneer. Though the Buccaneer is alright. I'm not crazy about this card, but it's okay. Notably, blue-green is the color, one of the color combinations that cares about exhaust, and I think that puts this a little higher. There's also a Right's End, which is just a premium removal spell, but we already have a red one, so I preferably not take this. I think with these cards I'm pretty incentivized to go after blue-green, so that's why I ended up taking the Buccaneer, even though it wasn't the best card in the pack. And now we take a Midnight Mangler. This is just a good defensive body. If we are blue, blue is a good card in this format as well. And I think a card that we're pretty happy to have. There's also a Broken Wings here, but I think you can pick them up later. And they're pretty good as removal. Though clearly not as good as I think the Black Murder variant. So let's take the Mangler here. Okay, now black seems real open. We have a spin out here pretty late, and then a lot of other black cards. Like these aren't great. I think the Gravestalker is mostly just good in green-black. The Calexian is just alright in general. The Deathless Pilot, I think, is the black card that I would actually take here, apart from the spin out. And the spin out also has 2 black pips, but we're still gonna take it. It's the best card by far. And so far, it really hasn't seemed like green is open at all. We could take a Glitch Ghost Surveyor here just to stay on the blue track. With these flyers, we can maybe even get in a bunch of times. So a start of Study Engines card isn't the worst. And there's no other strong cards here that I would take otherwise. Maybe the Swiftwater Cliffs, but I'd much rather take the playable here first. Now there's a Trip Up. This has been a bit awkward for me in the draft that I did yesterday, but I'm still gonna take it. It's also a risky shortcut, which is probably better than draw tools have been in other sets recently, but it's black as well, and I'd much rather just take the blue removal. Now we have a tapped land that we really don't want to take. We wield the Guideline Synergist, but we are pretty far away from white. The Burner Rocket doesn't fit what our deck wants to do right now, I think. So I just take the Tortoise here because it's a defensive body. With the 2 Sky Serpent Seekers, this might do something. But I think I want to take the splash card here, in case we really do end up in a blue-black deck maybe. And another land here for free. Pretty difficult stuff to navigate, but one thing is clear, green is not open. Like, we haven't seen any green cards really. We saw that very early Pothole Mole, and then we saw the Broken Wings, but that's just it. And I don't think that's... We can think that the reason for that is because there weren't a lot of green cards open. So here I think I'm just going to take the Roadside Blowout. We are the most deep in blue right now, and I do want to have the option to splash the Subsonin if we don't end up being blue-green. I'd still like to potentially splash that if we end up with another blue X deck. There's also a Haunted Hellride, which is pretty good. the Mendicant, but I don't think we're going that route. So yeah, I'm pretty good taking the blowout here. Okay, here we have another Scrounging Skyray. We saw this in our first pack as well. We have a Fang Guardian, which I found really awkward yesterday. And then we have a Venom Cyclic Egg. Now, I'm pretty far away from cycling, I think. So I don't think that we can make the Skyray work right now. We might still be able to pick up some cards. Do I want to force my way into green? Into like a blue deck that splashes green? I'm not sure. But there's also nothing else exciting here. There's the auxiliary, which is also pretty good probably. And we could still be a blue-red deck splashing green maybe. I think I'm gonna take it here just on power level. But we certainly need to make a decision at some point what we want to be. There's a Gas Guzzler, which is pretty good, but I think is too aggressive for how our deck looks right now. There's a Silken Strength, that's the only green card. Not a great fit, I would say, right now. There's a Transit Mage, which is a good card, but we don't have anything for it to get yet. So definitely a notch against it. There's the Endrider Spike Splitter. This is a pretty strong red uncommon. And then there's a Grimbauble. I think I'm gonna take the Spike Splitter here because it's just a pretty good card. And maybe we are gonna be a blue-red deck, like blue-red mid-range deck splashing for the Sepsunin. Here we have a Scurryfoot, pick 4, that's not too late. And then there's some lands here. These lands can be pretty valuable for me. But the Scurryfoot might be a sign that we might end up getting some green cards after all. If this was a blue-green land, I would have taken the blue-green land. Okay, now we see a Surveyor, which isn't a great green card, but it is a green card. In a Night Market, there's also a Spectral Interference for interaction and a Roadside Blowout number 2. I think a Night Market, the way our deck looks right now, I think a Night Market is gonna be pretty good. But then again, I think the Blowout also is just such a solid playable. Here we're gonna take the second Midnight Mangler. I'm not mad to have two of those in the deck. There's also a Greasewrench Goblin, which is a pretty good red card. Just a 1-mana play, and then you get to discard and draw a bunch of cards. The Mangler is the safer pick though. We are blue for sure. We just don't know if we're gonna end up playing green or red cards or both. Unfortunately, both of the fixing lands we took don't match our colors that we're interested in right now. Here's a Packdoll Terror. This is a pretty strong black card. We're not really set up as an artifact deck, but it is the strongest card. And a second Voyage Home. I have a feeling that we should have been blue-white artifacts. Like we saw that Flyer wheel in pack 1, and then we opened the Mendicant. I mean, that's not a sign, but then we saw some other late white artifact cards and the Voyage Home. But hey, we got a Venom Cyclic Egg here, 8th pick. I think that's pretty good. Now we have a Kickoff Celebration. A Silken Strength, a Starting Column. Or a Haunted Hellride. I don't think that any of these cards are great. I think I'm gonna take the Silken Strength. Because taking another black card is not the route we want to go. I think this might just get there on what it does. And now I would really like to see some of the good green-blue cards. Like I would, the payoff cards basically for using exhaust. Because now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exhaust cards. We have the Guidelight Optimizer that helps us. And yeah, either one of the refuelers, the blue or the green one, would be great. We have a Waxen Shape Thief, a 4-mana flash clone that also cycles. A flash clone is probably pretty nice. There's also a Beast Rider Vanguard, which this card is pretty good in this format actually. And a Aetherdrift, a Memory Guardian, and a Boom Scholar. Exhaust abilities cost 2 less. So that seems nice. I think I'm gonna take the Vanguard. Having the first of these is pretty nice, I think, as a late game mana sink, and just I think it's in general it's better to have more cheap cards than expensive cards. Here we have a Kedremos, modern all-star it seems, but clearly not for our deck. There's a Burnout Bastronaut, which we are not set up to play, and then there's an Autarch Mammoth. We had one of those yesterday too. It is very good, but the board, if you play against green especially, can get gummed up in a way where this can't attack into a 6/6 and we don't have any combat tricks. So we might want to have a look at that. There's one. There's a Bestow Greatness. Now our Sebsunin has Trample. And we don't have any other really large creatures except for the Mammoth. So I think I'm gonna take the Thopterist here over the Bestow Greatness. We don't have too much interaction though. I mean, this is our interaction. And then maybe these. I still think that the Thopterist fits Archive pretty well. Okay. Here we have a Howler's Heavy, which is... I don't know how good this is. We have a Transit Mage, which we still don't have any hits for. And we have a second Beast Rider Vanguard. Yeah, there's just no guarantee that we're gonna get a 4 or 5 mana artifact. Even though the Transit Mage is the better card, I would say. Given our current deck, this Beast Rider Vanguard is better. A second Glitch Ghost Surveyor. How many ways do we have to turn on speed? Only the Glitch Ghost Surveyor? Really? But I think having flyers is good, if only to block the opponent's flyers. Now we have a Memory Guardian, which I still don't want to take somehow, because I don't know how reliably I can cast this for like 4 or 3 mana, which you need to get to do, otherwise this isn't as good. I took... okay, now I was a little too slow, so I took the second glitch ghost... The third glitch ghost away. I might have wanted to take the second trip up there. Here's a Thunderhead. Gunner, this is a pretty good card, I've heard. Gonna take that here, but would have really liked to see some fixing, but we didn't end up seeing any. The stock up is pretty great. It's a pretty phenomenal card advantage spell that always gets you something. A second Aetherdrift is also nice. Here the Broken Wings is also a piece of interaction that I'm pretty happy to play. I think there's a real chance that we play both the Outpace Oblivion as well as the red card that exiles one every turn. Then we want more start your engine, so we're gonna get these in. We're gonna kick out the Buccaneers. Yeah, we didn't pick up any fixing, unfortunately. We don't have crazy mana requirements though, so that's okay. And now our interaction looks like this. That's okay, I would say. The Guidelight Optimizer casts artifacts and activates abilities. So we have 1, 2, like which cards work with this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 if you count this as an ability. So let's say 7. 7 cards, 8 with the scrap compactor. I think playing the 1 Outpace Oblivion is fine with the 2 Sky Serpent Seekers. And then we might just want to play something like this maybe. So this is our interaction. So these are the cards that I'm actually happy playing. This is 17 lands. Okay. I don't have an easy way to splash. I have the 2 Seekers. I would like to run the auxiliary, but I think that's gonna be pretty rough on a mana. Double red splash off of no fixed lands. We basically need to exhaust one of our Sky Serpent Seekers. Like we can also, it's also possible that we play one, like draw one, play one, and then the opponent kills it. That seems like too big of an ask. Can we get... a Pectoral Terror in here maybe as a splash? What does it do for us? We have 3 artifacts. 4, 5, 6. But we also then can't run the spit out probably because it's double black. I mean, at that point we are basically running into the same issues as we do with the auxiliary, and I think it's the better card in a nutshell. I would really like to have one more big late game threat like the auxiliary. Can I bank on my deck to work without a big late game play though? That's the question. So this way we have 2 Stadio Engine cards, 3, 4, 4. And then we have like 1, 2, 3, 4 flyers. 6, 5 flyers. Are those going to be enough to get us to max speed reliably? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I'm gonna cut the Spike Spitter, but I'm gonna keep the Outpace Oblivion because it's just a straight up removal spell which this deck desperately needs. And I might even cut the I mean, now I guess I don't have to cut anything. I'm gonna play the Sign Strength, I think, as a combat trick, which leaves us with this as our interaction. $17 lands. I don't know why this is so hard for, like, why this never works. Okay, yeah, I think we play it something like this. We are just a good stuff mid-range deck. We have early blockers. We have value creatures. This is a good blocker as well. So is this. This can also gain us a treasure, which we might need for our red splash. Then we just have some value cards, some better or worse removal spells, and then some top end. I think we really missed out on the synergy because we might have been better being blue-red, or maybe blue-white, or even blue-black. I think we really weren't supposed to be in green. The only cards in green that we saw late were these. And then the one, like we picked the Mammoth early, we picked all of our gold cards early. Definitely could have like navigated this differently. Still taking the Sepsunin as a first pick and then stayed open and looking to splash it. But I'm not sad where we ended up. Yeah, we would have liked to see one of the blue and green uncommon fueler cards that let us reactivate so that we can continue getting lands out of our deck, continue looting and growing this, continue making 3/3 elephants. But we didn't see any of those, like the green refueler, and then the blue one obviously great as well, 2 draws cards. Yeah, gonna have to make this work, and we're gonna rely relatively heavily on these Sky Serpent Seekers finding us all the mana that we need. But I think that's our best bet. But to be honest, it also didn't seem like any other color, apart from blue, was super open. We ended up seeing some good blue, like some good red cards, some good black cards, some good white cards, but none of these other colors, apart from green, looked terribly open, like so obviously open. Maybe if I go back and I look at the draft, it's possible that I then see, okay, maybe we were supposed to be specifically this color combination, but yeah, the draft could have gone a different way. I'm not mad about the deck. I think I like it better than the deck we had yesterday. Our success is pretty, to a pretty big extent, hinge upon us drawing our Sky Serpents and activating them, and then playing our big top end and winning with that. Specifically, the Sepsonen. Still no opponent. So I've reconnected, but it still doesn't look like we're gonna find an opponent anytime soon, and we also can't cancel, so this might be a good time to restart Arena. And there we go. I restarted Arena, and here we have our first opponent. Notably, we were missing green, but I'm gonna keep this. We have a pretty good 1 draw, like 2 drop into 3. So that's okay. And there's our green mana. Let's put down the Midnight Mangler. A Wretched Doll, okay, we can trade with that. The question is, do we want to play a Ticket Tortoise here, or do we want to just play the stock up? I think just using the stock up is pretty nice. If they want to use a trigger removal spell against a Mangler, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna take the Sepsonen here. Very nice. And do I also want another mana? Or do I want the Keen Buccaneer? We have 2 more draws to find another land. So let's not take a land here. Now black-green, I don't know if they have a lot of effects that can deal with an indestructible creature. There's that one sacrifice card. But if we start out with Thopterist next turn, then that might be a good insurance against that. Opponent plays a pothole mole. They do find land. And they're not attacking. Okay, and we find our 5th land here, so we're gonna play the Sepsunen right on time. But we're gonna start off with the Nimbothopterist here. There is that -X spell in black. I don't know how much -X that gives. I think 4. Though I'm not quite sure. So that could maybe deal with the Sepsunen. Dredger's Insight is pretty good. It's gonna gain them a bunch of life during the over the course of this game probably. And they now have 2 big things in the graveyard, which I wouldn't be surprised if they have something to, like apart from the Dredger's Insight, that allows them to get stuff back. They can play the Broodwagon next turn and they can kill our Thopterist. I'm not stoked about that. But they can't kill the Sepsunen, so that's good. So let's put her down. Our god has landed. She's not a frog. Still not a frog. But she is glorious. I don't know what this is really with me and frogs. In Bloomburrow, in my first 3 drafts, I think I was Sultai in all of those drafts, and 2 of them I had Glarb, the Sultai frog legend, and now I start off in Aetherdrift with 2 Sepsunens as my pack 1 pick 1. Okay, they play their Broodwagon, which means that my Sepsunen lives. They can kill the Thopterist. That's okay. They can't attack into me though. Okay, we go to draw 2 cards. Find another land. And we even find a hard removal spell here in the Scrap Compactor. She can't attack or block right now, but that's okay. We drew 2 cards. The question is, we can't use the Scrap Compactor right now, so we can't get rid of the Broodwagon before it hits us. But I think the best play is just to put down the Mammoth here. Uses all of our mana up. And what's pretty nice, on off turns when we can't attack or block with the Sepsunen, we could still crew the Mammoth. Can't do so right now, of course, but could do so 2 turns from now. And the Mammoth can attack right now. It basically would trade with the Broodwagon. If they play a 6/6 though, or something larger like an Earth Rumbler, then the Mammoth won't be able to get in so easily. Fang Druid Summoner, okay, that's maybe gets something very big. Unless it only gets an Omnivore. Or do they have one of the legendaries? Okay, they get an Omnivore. I'm really okay with that. It's still a good play, but this can't trade with a Mammoth. The 3 mana black one, the Crocodile, could trade with the Mammoth, and then the green one could even just block the Mammoth, no problem. Okay, so they maybe look to get aggressive here. And they attack with the Broodwagon. Do I want to trade my Mangler and my Elephant for the Broodwagon? I think so. They could have a 1-mana trick which destroys vehicles, maybe? Or is that a sorcery? They might also have a way to get the Broodwagon back. Okay, now the Sebsonin can attack. This has saddle 5, so we can play a Thopterist and then crew with all of our creatures. And then get in for a bunch and make an elephant. And I think I'm pretty happy with that as the board stands right now. Actually gonna play the Ticket Tortoise, because then we can crew this more easily. They can block it with... They can't kill it if they block with the Porthole Maul and the Summoner. And if they block with 2 things, then I can just kill 2 things. If they block... They can crew the Veloheart Bike and then crew... like then block with the Summoner and the Veloheart Bike. So that's also not a good attack for me, because then I also get to kill just one of their creatures. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna play the Scrap Compactor. I'm gonna attack first. And I'm not gonna play out the Compactor. Next turn we can either kill something with the Compactor, or we can use the Sebsonin, which can't attack, to crew the Mammoth and then attack with the Mammoth, and if they double block on the Mammoth we can use the Trip Up to get a 2-for-1, hopefully. They kill the Mammoth, that's okay. They're gonna attack with the Porthole Mole. And the Summoner. And the Omnivore. So we're gonna make some trades here. I think I'm pretty happy with trades. Let's trade this. Let's trade this. Yeah. Okay, they have an Earth Rumbler, which is pretty big. But we're just gonna draw 2 cards here. Play our mountain. And we can just kill the Earth Rumbler. Because if we don't, then it's gonna hit us. So let's do that. They can get a bunch of life in response, but that's okay. They don't. And I'm not gonna play the Scurryfoot here, because I don't want to expose it. Let's attack with our 1-1. Oh, let's not attack. We can block the 3-1 with this, so... If they have another creature, they can get in for 7. But I think we're still in a pretty good spot. Okay, no blocks. And outpace Oblivion, pretty nice. Play a land. Attack with our Sepsunin. She's gonna kill them pretty soon. Indestructible 10-10 trample. In the next time this attacks, it's an indestructible 12-12 trample. So I really don't know if they don't kill us before this gets there, how they're gonna plan on winning here. Now we're just gonna pass. We have the trip up in hand and ready to get rid of something if they play something problematic. They're looking. They are searching for an answer. I'm just gonna trade this with the Scurryfoot. Yeah, now I'm gonna use the trip up. And at this point they probably don't wanna draw their bike. Yeah. So that just ended the game right there probably. Yeah, let's play a land. 5, 10. Yeah, we can just play the auxiliary, crew, attack, kill the wretched dog and kill them. Yeah. Okay, pretty nice. Granted, this game was 100% won by Sepsunin alone, but that's why we picked her. So let's go to game 2. Our next opponent is the Homunculus Lewis. This seems like a pretty solid keep. I'm actually gonna start off with the Mangler and then play the Seeker on turn 3 probably. Because I'd like to give them one less turn to try and kill it. This is annoying, but not if we have a 3/3 blocker. Yeah. Yeah, so that's nice because they can't get it going. I'm gonna play the Sky Serpent Seeker. They might kill it right away. I hope they don't. Because if they don't, then I'm gonna activate it and get 2 mountains. The Omnivore attacks here. Fine trading with the Mangler, I think. Blood gas, okay. And they pass. Okay, that's nice. Now we can activate our Seeker, which I'm gonna do right now. Oh, it just gets random lands. I did not know that. That definitely changes the evaluation about putting the auxiliary in my deck. Yeah, I might need to take that out. I did not know that. I mean, I have read this card multiple times, but just didn't think about that. Gonna attack here. Don't really want to block one of the small creatures with the Death Toucher. They saddle, they attack. Okay. So they can blow up an artifact. Let's not play an artifacts then, I guess. Let's start off with a stock up. Okay. I think I want the Scurryfoot and the Compactor. But I don't want to play them right now, so I'm just gonna play the... I'm just gonna attack here. And then play this Legek, because the Legek can kill their mascot even if it continues growing. Yeah. Don't want to trade with the Bloodcast here, I think. Yeah. But they're not doing anything, that's... I think that is curious. I'm gonna play the land. Gonna check with the Seeker. Doesn't seem like they have any instants. Maybe they're missing... But they can't... Like if they're missing a color, then that means that they're playing Bloodcast in a 3-color deck. I'm just gonna play out the Scurryfoot and activate it. That seems good to me. Maybe they have the demon? The 7-mana demon? That's a possibility. I have a Chandra. Okay. I'm not impressed with Chandra at all. The Bloodghast can't block. They're gonna make a vehicle here which can't block either. I mean, it can block because they have the Bloodghast. Yeah, but And we draw our Sepsunin. Okay, so we're gonna attack the Chandra with our Sky Serpent Seeker here. I guess we're just gonna play the Sepsunin, attack with everything, crew the Legeg with the Sepsunin, and then use the Signet Strength. So that means that the Chandra probably dies. Though if we do that and we attack... No, I don't think we do that. I think we want to leave the Sepsunin back as a blocker. Because then they can just give up the Chandra and our whole board is tapped and we get hit for like 7 or 8. And I don't want to fall that low. So yeah, let's just throw everything at Chandra. Okay, and they just concede. Fine, I'm fine with it. That played out pretty easily. Yeah, and they were missing red mana. They did play the Bloodgust in a 3-color deck. Yeah, and Chandra as a card, I think the new Chandra is cool, but I really don't think she's good. Like, because she doesn't protect herself and she doesn't give you card advantage, she gives a Rummage, but if you just play her on Rummage, I don't think that's enough impact. Of course, if the board is clogged up and she just makes a vehicle every turn, if she makes like 3 vehicles, that's pretty good, I guess. But I don't know. My impression so far is that I'm not that hyped about it, the Chandra. This is a pretty good keep. We can just curve 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, 4. Ooh, the Velocipede is very scary. It's just a 5/5 trample that they can crew next turn, and then everything that they play now is gonna be huge. Like if they play a 4-drop here, it's gonna enter with 3+1/+1 counters. That's absurd. We need to see our Broken Wings here pretty soon, or else we're gonna have a very hard time winning this game. Yeah, and now they just make a... Oh, okay, if it's big, it enters with 1 counter, but if it's small, it enters with 3. Okay. Okay. The Roadside Blowout. Okay, that is a removal spell, but I think that's not... I think with these 2 things costing 4 and this also costing 4, I don't wanna use the Blowout right now. If they play something like a 3-drop here, then we can just bounce the 3-drop and reset it. Hoping to still draw the Broken Wings in the meantime. I'm gonna use the Scary Foot here just because I want to make sure that we get that 3/3 and they don't just ping this or something and we don't get any value from it. So yeah, let's pass. Okay. Is 4 or less. Okay, so it is big things. 4 or less. Yeah, if it's big, it's gonna be even bigger. Okay. Yeah. A 7-8 is humongous. A 7-8 is pretty humongous. Phew. Okay. Do we want to bounce that now? I think we want to look for the broken wings. So I think I'm gonna discard Aetherdrift here. And then I'm gonna follow it up with a roadside blowout. They can crew their velocipede if they want. Okay. Okay. I mean, we have 6 mana next turn. If I find the broken wings from the stock up, then we can still win this game. I mean, by that point they still got like 4 counters out of this thing, but yeah, we can't. If this just lives forever, we can't reasonably expect to win this game. Okay, now they crew. Oh no, they rummage, okay. It's good that we have such reasonable blockers here. That's not a broken wings. Basically I need to get the mountain here, because if I don't, then my dragon is gonna be dead until the end of the game. Like if we draw it, it's gonna be dead because we can never cast it, so I'm gonna have to take the mountain. And then I think I'm gonna take the second roadside blowout. It keeps us alive, it draws us a card, gets us closer again to finding our broken wings, so let's take that. And then let's do it again. Okay, they have a Terrian, which is gonna be a 12-10. Of course. Let's pray that they don't have a Bestow Greatness in their deck. Though they probably do. Second Strength I like here. Do I want to put down the Mammoth? I think I don't. I think I'd rather play the Thopterist, because then we can jump the Terrian with the Thopter. So let's just pass the turn again. A Sepsunin would be handy right now. I've heard that a Sepsunin handily blocks 12 power creatures. Or a Saddleback Legg. I'd also take that. I guess this guy Serpent Seeker does have Death Touch. I didn't consider that. I didn't think of that at all. can also just make the hazard into a 8/8 eventually. Yeah, they have a lot of power. And they even have a boom mobile. Kinda happy that I jumped with my 1/1 now. So what are they gonna kill here? The elephant? I can protect it with second strength though pretty nicely. Are they disconnected? Maybe. So yeah, we're gonna protect the elephant here. I think that's pretty good. But that deck definitely has a lot of bangers. Yeah, let's play the Legag here. That's pretty nice, even though they have not played any removal, so they could kill this with anything that touches this basically. Now do we also want to play our Vanguard? I think we do, because we're a little bit short on green mana. Don't know if we want to activate this anytime soon anyways, because if we see a Broken Wings it puts it on the bottom, which we really don't want. They have so much power on the board. Wow, that's like a 5/5. That's gonna be an 8/8, a 12/10, a 7/8, a 5/5, another 7/7. The impact that this Velocipede had on the game is just incredible. And at this point, the Broken Wings are probably too late. Like, they've got 9 counters on off of this. 9 power and toughness. So, really surprised that they didn't kill the Death Toucher there. Because the Terran is a huge problem for us while we have the Death Toucher. But I'm not complaining. Not sure how we're gonna win this game yet. Attacking with this basically does nothing. Like, we just lose the 5/5 and we then get a 3/3. I think we have to just wait until we draw the Sepsunin. But even with that, I don't know. This board is also so clogged up that maybe this actually is gonna come down to like milling. And then the Subsonin is not working in our favor. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is just put 12 power and 12 toughness on the battlefield. That's actually crazy. Like eventually they might just swing all. Right now we have 8 creatures and they also have 8 creatures. So all of their creatures are way bigger than ours. That might just be a general problem with our deck though, that we don't have a game plan. We have like 3 flyers in the deck between the serpents and the dragon. And then the Subsonin is like can win a game on her own. But maybe we want to get those flyers in. Those 3-mana flyers. Because we can gum up the ground reasonably well on turn 2. But then we're not doing anything. Really, except for wait for Subsonin. They have 6 lands left in their hand and deck. They probably also have removal spells and they might even have something big to push through damage. Gonna play the tortoise now because I don't wanna fall behind on board too far here. I'm not gonna play the Vanguard, I think. Still don't really want to use the Vanguard is the problem. So they kill the Legek here. Okay, so now we don't have a good blocker anymore. They might even have the Gearhulk. That would be crazy if they played the Gearhulk. Because then we can just say bye-bye. I knew it! I think there's also the Pathbreaker Ibex in the bonus sheet that they could have had to pump the whole team. But the Gearhulk giving Vigilance and Menace here is just an absolute death nail for us. We're gonna try to make any amount of blocks that keep us alive here, but this is gonna be nigh impossible. +2/+2, okay. So we're definitely gonna block the Tarion. Let's just see if we block all the biggest things, can we live? Block here and then block here. So this means we take 5. Yeah, we take a bajillion. So let's give it to them. Let's give them a good game. And then let's let them see how much damage they're gonna do here. That's about 60 damage in one attack they did there. 65. I think. Yeah. Wow. That vehicle really really put a lot of power on the board. Like everything they played was just so much bigger. Especially the fact that it makes big things even more problematic is kind of crazy. But let's get it back in. Oh, let's not actually. Let's have a look at the deck first. Also, we wanted to take out the dragon maybe. Taking out the dragon seems really sad. Because we do really want to have a late game play, but we don't have anything else. We have the gunner, which I don't really hate exchanging this for the gunner. And then do we want to change like a buccaneer for like the 2 surveyors here? Just to have some evasion? Is that worth it? I'm not sure. But I think this is okay. Let's try it like this. Now we have 6 flyers overall, even though they are mostly small. Gonna keep this. Okay. I'm kind of happy to have a flyer against green-white. Because they have some reasonable flyers. Oh, a Basri, that's also good. Not like crazy good, but pretty good. Okay, we don't exert. Now the question is, do I want to kill this? It makes a 1/1 cat with lifelink. Don't think I do, because solely based on the fact that this can kill big things later on. Like a veteran beast rider. Wow, that's a strong combo. They can now make a cat every turn. I don't think that I want to see that happen. And I'm gonna attack here because I want to get the engines going. Just to enable us to cycle this. Okay, they play a pretty low curve here. The Legek is okay because it can kill their Beast Rider maybe, but apart from that I'm not too stoked about it. Question is if I want to kill this. I don't think I do. Not right now. Let's attack with the Surveyor one last time and hope that it lives. It doesn't. And it gets exiled. Okay. Yeah, at this point we've seen 4 more lands than they have. This is gonna be pretty difficult. I think I am gonna kill the gag with the broken wings. But we're really not in a good spot here. Okay. Our prayers have been heard. Frog, Mama, our goddess has appeared to save us. She's everything that we need. Let's please not exile her opponent. Okay, they have the exile and they even have this exile. Wow, okay, that is such a blowout there. Because this card is crazy. Wow. And we just use the broken wings. We can't get rid of that. For good. Like, this is gonna deal with our Sepsonen no matter what we do. It's very sad to see. Very, very sad to see. So I think we're just gonna bounce the glider here. Yeah, this is just such an incredible removal spell. It's just an Oblivion Ring for starters, but then the max speed ability is just crazy. Yeah, now they start putting out big rares that also gain them card advantage, so we're probably doomed this game. And they got a Guardian Sunmare, one of the strongest white cards. It has Ward 2, and when it attacks settled, you just get to tutor up something with mana value 3 or less and put it on the battlefield. This could even find them their snare, and we draw more lands. Yeah, at this point I'm fine conceding. Hey, again, we drew 5 more lands than they did. They had the perfect answer for our Sepsonen, and nothing much else to say there. Don't really think there's anything else that I want to add. I think a deck fell a little bit short. Just on synergy and on top end. Like we have the early game and we have some removal spells, even though they're not hard removal mostly, which was the same problem that we had in the deck yesterday. Yeah, we needed some top end, and we also needed some solid removal, and preferably also some synergy, but we found none of that, so here we are. I'm gonna play the leg gag here, because I don't really want to cycle the trip up, but if we don't hit a land next turn, I will. Okay, now we can attack and then play a Glitch Ghost Surveyor. Of course, the expert plays the Study Engine card first, but hey, it's day 2, we're all learning. And the deck that I played yesterday just didn't have any Study Engine cards in it, so a Sabotage Strategist, okay. Pretty nice draw there on the Signal Strength, but I'm just gonna bounce this, draw a card. I wanna hit my land drops. Now we can even get engine up. A Winter. Each non-artifact creature gets -X/-X. Okay, I don't like that. And that makes me not want to play the Thopterist here. I'm just gonna use a Broken Wings probably. And the Strategist. Then they can just kill my Legag. Huh. I think I'm just not gonna do anything here. This lets me leave up these 3 cards. A Grim Bauble, okay. I think we're gonna protect the Legag here. I can use the Winter, but now they've used the Winter, now it's out of the way. So kind of okay with that. A Sky Serpent Seeker, okay. If we bounce that, they get their exhaustibility back, so I'm just gonna play out the Thopterist here. Now we can kill the winter if we want to. During your turn. So if I kill their winter now with the scrap compactor, then they won't get a trigger. Okay. I think I just do that here. I can also draw a card from the Glitch Ghost eventually. If we can get in one more time here. Okay. Wimbobble, sure. Okay, so they... I'm not too worried about the amount of guideline optimizers they have in the deck. So I'm gonna attack here. Now I think sack, draw 2, then discard 1. I can't really stop them from gaining max speed here. Unless I sacrifice a Serpent and a Roadside Blowout. Is that worth it? Maybe. Maybe. They get some pretty good value, like all of the stuff gets cheaper and they get a card. But they can still get to max speed eventually. Like they just need to play a Pectoral Terror and there we go. So I don't think that, while we might put them off of max speed for a turn or two maybe, I think eventually they're gonna end up getting there anyways. Now they can even discard the guideline optimizer that we put into the hand, okay. It's time though for Sepsunen. In Sepsunen we trust. Can they have an exile-based removal spell here? They can. Do we believe so? No. We don't. We don't want to see a hellish sideswipe. Why would... Okay, it's now time for me to just block and then look up what the card actually does that gives -X in black. What it does is gives -6/6, so it can no longer kill our Sepsunen. I think I'm pretty happy just playing the Mammoth now, because Mammoth and Sepsunen are kind of good friends. And they just succeed. Succeed. They did not succeed, in fact, but they conceded. And this is kind of where we want to be. We want to be in the 3-win zone. That way we don't have to feel bad about the draft. But there's always room to feel better about the draft, and I would feel way better if we got another win. So, let's go. This is a pretty good hand. I think it's pretty funny that we got the second pick one Subsunin on the second draft in a row. And so, I mean, I just had to build around our goddess, right? Samsonin is so sweet. And of course, nobody can say anything wrong about Samsonin. The only thing that would really improve her in the eyes of her followers, I think, would be if she actually was a frog. Let's play the Glitch Ghost Surveyor here. And the turn, I don't... I could have also attacked with the Mangler and gotten in for another speed bump. Two Wicker Folks now. I have answers in hand though. And while they could kill me eventually, they're not gonna kill me anytime soon. So let's just get in with the Mangler now, because I can't block with it anyways. Okay, that's our Sky Serpent gone. These oil-drinking vampires are such a choice, but I kind of love it. Okay, let's... I think let's activate the Vanguard and then crew our Mangler and get in again. Ooh, Zahur is pretty good. And now that it has started their engines and they're gonna be able to get there pretty quickly, they're gonna get to nab one of our instances as we see. That's annoying. So, whenever a non-talking creature dies, they just get a zombie. Yeah, that's very strong. And they can also just sacrifice creatures whenever to surveil one. So, if I think I'm just gonna play the Compactor and kill their Zahur. And then attack with my Mangler again. roadside assistance. That changes the race pretty significantly. But, of course, we can bounce that. And we will do so here. And they probably don't want this on top, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's get in with our... Do we want to get in with the Mangler now that they have the Gastel Raider? I don't think we want to do that because then we go to 6. Yeah, no, and we also have our speed full. So let's not attack here. That's a big creature. That's a big creature. That's gonna block all of our ground stuff. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna play the Seeker and then activate the Glitch Ghost. No, we don't need to, we can do that end of turn. But then we can play a land right away. Okay. Yeah, Menace and Flyers. And a removal spell is gonna make this pretty tough. Yeah, now they can kill this, they get in with the Wicker Folk, they can kill the Rambler and get in with that, and we need to double block basically. That is a big, big swing. Yeah, so if we block the Raider, then we go to 2 and we die to the Flyers next turn. Kind of need to kill the Rambler, I think. But then we take 5 to 4 and then they can still kill us with Menace next turn. This is a big yikes all around. Yeah, now we basically lose. Yeah, we can block the Raider, but we lose to the Flyers. We basically need to hit one of the 3-mana bounce spells next turn for the token. And they found another creature. Yeah, we couldn't quite stabilize there. Why? Maybe we raced too aggressively in the beginning? Though maybe only one turn where we should not have attacked. But then they also just had a pretty low to the ground deck. That Broadcast Rambler came in just at the wrong time. Then they followed that up with a removal spell. The Raider also hitting one of our removal spells was pretty big. And then the roadside assistance changed the race in their favor. Yeah. So another 3 and 3. But we all know why we lost this game, because she did not want it to be. We didn't see our goddess. We did not see Subsunin again. And So we end 3-3. So far, this format has been dead even. Day 1, 3-3. Day 2, 3-3. That's okay. Now we might need to look at some investments maybe tomorrow to get back to enough gems. But that's gonna be it for today. I hope you liked this draft. If you did, click all the good buttons, leave a comment, leave some love, and I hope you have a great time. Until next time.